Today, we're going to be going over our Agent Observability snippet. It's going to allow you deeper insights into what your agents and workflows are doing, the tools that they're using, and more. So, with this snippet, let's go ahead and see just how quick and easy it is to get set up so we can see what's happening with our agents. Now, we'll include the snippet URL, of course, within the description, but we're just going to add it to our Xano account. Before I can add it to a workspace, it's going to ask me which instance it'll exist out of. For us, we'll select our sandbox, and then we'll add it to our instance. And I'll just go ahead and select my Xano workspace. I'll go ahead and add a workspace. And then once we're in our workspace, we can see that, well, some things have been added. Go to our database and we could see our separate tables. We can go to our APIs and see our API group. We can even go to our AI agents to see the agent it brought over. And then lastly, we have a function that our agent will be using. Now let's head to our database real quick and familiarize ourselves with what we're doing. Here is our agent table. This is going to be one of the more important tables we want to focus in. For any agent that we create, we're going to want to add a record in this agent table. Here's our simple name, our description, our model host, and our model. So keep this in mind. This ID is going to be the ID of one, and we can use this when we're adding our agents. Now from here, we have other tables that are going to be tracking the runs, the steps, and the tool calls. We'll also be using an agent user table. It's going to be a little bit different than, say, a user table that you may already have in your application. Of course, you can manually configure your workflow and logic to use this user table, but this snippet is going to be using our agent_user table. We'll go ahead and open it up, and let's actually add a record here. I'll go ahead and add my name, my email, and a super secure password. Perfect. I have a user that I can go ahead and test with. Now, before we can actually test, we need to do a couple things. Now, this agent, of course, is going to be using a Google key. To update my agent, I'll need to first see what the environment variable is. And so I'll head to my agent, I'll go to the settings and select edit agent and scroll down where I see that we're going to be passing in the value of Gemini_key. And it's located in our environment variables. We're calling it dynamically with these curly brackets. So I need to get a key and I need to add it to my environment variables with this name. I'll go ahead and do that now. I'll navigate to my settings, click this blue manage button here in the environment variables card. Select this blue add variable and just give it a name. It needs to be the same name as what we're seeing within our edit agent settings. From here, I'll go ahead and paste my key that I have in my clipboard and I'll click save. Now I have my environment variable key. Perfect. So now what do we need to do? Let's go to our API and our agent history group, the one that was brought in with this snippet. We can see that we have a bunch of get endpoints. So we're going to be getting data. We have the ability to log in and get our me data as well. We also have a dashboard and a sample error log. Now, this sample error log is a great starting point. Let's actually take a look at it first. This starting error log is going to be pretty simple. It's going to accept an input, and that's our message. That's what we're providing to our agent. We'll create the arguments in a new variable. Of course, different ways to do this. If you wanted to do it within your actual agent itself, go for it. Here, we try to make it easy by making everything modular. So the key of message, that's the argument our agent accepts with the value of what we're passing in via our input. From here, it's relatively the same as it's been when we're building an agent. We'll just pass in those arguments to the argument input. Now, we're calling it agent response, and we can see here in our agent log that we have an agent response. We're mapping that response to the response and our arguments to the arguments, and that agent ID, well, that's coming from the database we just saw. So when we're using this function, which should absolutely be applied after each agent we're using, we want to make sure that we're also passing in the right ID value. It's important to maintain distinction so that when we're taking a look at our dashboard, we have clear understanding of which agent is doing what. Now, our user ID, this is going to be our auth token. And from here, we're good to go. So let's go ahead and click publish. Let's head back here to our API group. I'm going to take this base URL that exists within my group. I'm actually going to need this because when I go to my dashboard, well, it's going to require it. And why it requires it, well, we'll show you in just a second. So let's make sure we paste our API URL group here and let's publish it. What we're actually going to be doing is returning HTML to our web browser. Let's go ahead and explore what that looks like. To do so, let's select this copy endpoint URL in our dashboard endpoint. Here in a new tab, we can see that this is what's being returned, a very cool front end. Here, when we're brought to this new page, we'll go ahead and use those credentials we created in our agent user table to log in. So here is our dashboard. This dashboard is going to include information about our runs, about our agent, about all of these things. You can even see if we click into these various cards, we even get more information. So if we wanted to see runs associated with a specific agent, we can then also analyze runs, but we need a run to analyze. Let's head back into Xano real quick. And what I'm going to do is head to my sample error log. I want to actually test it so that we can see it in the dashboard. I'll click run. I'll make sure here that my auth token is associated with me, and then I'll pass in a message. So for a simple test, let's just say, hey, how are you? And we'll click run. Now, what we're going to get is our agent response, which includes, of course, all of this data. We'll see the result. Hello. As an AI, I don't have feelings, but I'm functioning perfectly. So how can I help you out today? Let's go ahead and take a look at our dashboard. If we refresh our dashboard, what we see here is now a new total runs. We have one total run, the total tokens, the average tokens per run. And if we click on that agent overview, we can see this is our run. Here's my message, and here's the response, and we can then even further analyze it. This shows us the steps that it took, as well as the amount of tokens it took. And if we open it up on the right-hand side, we get more details about this particular step. Very easy to see what our agent's doing. Now, of course, this is a simple agent. We aren't using any tools. So very quickly, let's head back into Xano, add a tool, and see what that looks like. What I'll do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and use the existing user table. I'll go ahead and add a new field, and I'm going to call this the city field. We're going to keep it really simple here. We'll generate our records. We'll generate a random city here in the United States, and I'll go ahead and select generate. From here, I want to do a couple different things. I'm actually going to specifically add Chandler a couple times because this tool that I want it to return how many people live in Chandler. So for this tool, I'll go to my AI and my tools, and I'll add a tool, and I'll say retrieve list of users. For my tool instructions, I'll say use this to return a list of users based on a given city. I'll click save. I'm going to add an input. This will be the city that we're searching. And then I'll go ahead and add a function. It'll be database requests, query all records, and then my user table, where my query will be my city equals my input of city. So we're going to be searching the column of city in our user table. Anybody that matches that city, they'll be returned. Clicking apply and then done, we have the ability to click run and test this. So I'll go ahead and paste Chandler and I'll select run, and perfect. We actually have a couple different people. That's a total of 5 users. I'll go ahead and publish this. I'm going to navigate back to my AI, my agents, and I need to make sure I add this tool. So let me go ahead and connect this tool. From here, let's go back into the API, the agent history, and that sample error log where I'll go ahead and select run. And I'll ask, how many users live in Chandler? And we'll go ahead and click run. So we should have at least 2 steps, one where it processes and then one where it uses that tool. We can see that there are 5 users who live in Chandler, so we got that result back. What's this look like in the dashboard? If we navigate back to our dashboard and refresh, we have a total of 2 total runs now with a total of 1.1 thousand total tokens, the average being 566 per run. Let's select our simple agent. Here is our 3rd run. We'll go ahead and select analyze, and we can see we have 2 steps. We have step 1 with the actual question, and it shows the tool calls, and then, well, step 2, the tool results. It also shows the parameters being passed into our tool, so we have greater observability with our agents. And this is going to be the tool to help you ultimately have deeper analytics and insights into your agents and the way that they perform across your Xano application. So just as a quick recap, the way that we get started with this very quickly is add an environment variable with the name Gemini_key and provide it your API key. Then we head to our API, we go to our agent history, we'll grab this base URL, and then go to our dashboard where we update it in this variable, the API_group_base_URL. Keep in mind, if you're adding agents, make sure to update them in your agent table and then pass those IDs into the appropriate log function added after each agent. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those in the comments section below. You can also reach out to us within your instance by selecting the support chat icon. And of course, reach out to us on the community where ourselves and other community members are there to assist. We can't wait to see what you build with this awesome new snippet. And if you have any requests, please let us know in the comments section below. And happy building.